Jami-Lee.
Mr Speaker, it's traditional for whips to end the debate in the adjournment debate. So Tim and I got one of the Christmas crackers, pulled each end each. He got the Christmas hat and I ended up with the Christmas cracker. So here we are. Here we are. You're stuck with me for a few minutes. Mr Speaker, in the spirit of the adjournment debate in Christmas, can I say a big thank you to the House? Can I say a big thank you to everyone that serves the 121 members of Parliament here? Can I say thank you to you, Mr Speaker, for the knowledge and wisdom you bring to this role. I think you've made the most crucial decision this week that you'll ever make as Speaker, and that's whether to keep the prayer or not. And the Christians of this country are very happy with the decision you've made. Mr Speaker, can I also thank the other presiding officers that work with you, even Mr Mallard. Mr Mallard likes to keep the government whips on their toes. He's been quite successful at that so far, but it's been an enjoyable ride so far, so thank you. To the chamber and gallery staff, the people who look after us in this House, thank you for always being there, attentive and doing what you can to support us. The security guards that keep us safe and ensure that those who wish to cause grief in this place are kept away from us. To the caterers, the receptionists and all the people that are here serving the Parliament. The press gallery that I'm reliably informed by a little bird known as Twitter, also known as Andrew Vance, that Andrew Little forgot to I think he should be heading down to the gallery party tonight, having not thanked the press gallery for all the work that they do on behalf of New Zealanders here. Mr Speaker, but to everyone that supports us, congratulations, especially to the staff that support members of Parliament. They go through ups and downs just like members of Parliament, and Mr Speaker, they all deserve to be thanked for their efforts as well. Mr Speaker, 2014, it's been an interesting year. Another year over. Another election completed, another failed Labour leader disposed of, another whinging Aussie kept away from the chequebook, and Mr Speaker, New Zealand's grumpiest pensioner forgot to send the cavalry that he kept promising week after week in this House. Mr Speaker, it's been a big year for New Zealanders. I actually think New Zealanders are a bit over politics and looking forward to the Christmas break. But Mr Speaker, no, Carmel Sepuloni, no. Mr Speaker, we've just been delivered back to the Treasury benches with New Zealand's most popular third-term Prime Minister in about 100 years. Mr Speaker, New Zealanders are looking forward to more John Key-led government for the next 3 years. Mr Speaker, when we look at the opposition, we have to ask ourselves, what type of year have they had? Mr Speaker, it's been the year of the crisis for the opposition, it's been the year of conspiracy for the opposition, and it's been the year of the unions for the opposition. It's been the year of the unions for the opposition because they got their man sitting there, Mr Andrew Little, and he's doing the work for them. Mr Speaker, I just want to remind the opposition about all the crises they've talked about over the past 3 years. Mr Speaker, there was a report of a crisis in the manufacturing sector, and indeed a 10-month-long inquiry into the so-called manufacturing crisis. This is despite the manufacturing sector sales actually growing by 19.5% since 2009. Some crisis going on there. There was a report of a housing crisis, despite 24,000 residential consents being issued in the year to October, up from 20,000 in the year to October 2008. Then there was a report of a crisis in exports, despite exports growing by 13.5% in real terms since 2009, and a report of a crisis in the regions, despite every region in the South Island having a lower unemployment rate than Auckland and annual GDP growth across the country of 3.5%. You might ask yourself, Mr Speaker, what the next crisis is going to be. Well, Mr Speaker, I hear that somewhere in a social democratic party, somewhere in this country, a very matronly deputy leader will start to declare a crisis of confidence within the leadership of that party. And Mr Speaker, that matronly, nice deputy leader of that party will soon start to be declaring that it's time for a change. It's time for the King to become the Queen of the Labour Party. Mr Speaker, the opposition has had a difficult year. Mr Speaker, we know that they're tired. We know that they need a rest. Mr Speaker, as Billingsley said, I hope Andrew Little makes it to the Christmas break because he deserves a break as well. Mr Speaker, I actually quite enjoyed the speech. From Andrew Little. The interesting thing about the speech is it was really good because he didn't didn't talk about policy at all. It was really good because he didn't talk about the failings and the weaknesses of the opposition, Mr. Speaker, and there are many. Contrast this with the government side of the House. We're pleased with how this side of the House has ended up at the end of 2014. We've got a party with strong leadership, a whip that interjects at the wrong time. Mr. Speaker, a party that's got strong leadership. We've got a growing economy. We've got promises that have been made and promises that have been kept. And, Mr. Speaker, we have caucus unity. If I can give one piece of advice to the opposition, it's the fact that caucus unity is what enables the National Party to serve New Zealanders in the way that we do, have done for the past 6 years and will do for the next 3 years. We have a fantastic team sitting here on the government benches. Can I congratulate again the 14 new MPs that have joined us, the talent from the bottom of the South Island, Invercargill, all the way up to Whangarei, the talent that has joined us in this party is immense. So I'm looking forward to working with them for the next 3 years. Mr. Speaker, can I also say thank you to the talented ministers that serve in the executive in this country. Mr. Speaker, I don't think we could have a 25 set of ministers that are better than the 25 we have right now. And, Mr. Speaker, they do an excellent job for New Zealanders, and New Zealanders know this. And can I finally say thank you to the hard-working and energetic backbenchers that also serve New Zealanders through the National Party-led government, who do an excellent job in their electorates up and down the country day after day. They do a fabulous job. Can I also say thank you to our coalition partners. It's been good to have the Māori Party on board, David Seymour and Peter Dunn. They provide strong and stable government to this country. I enjoyed the speech from Marama Fox as well. I'm sure Marama and the National Party will probably come to more agreement about the way in which votes will be cast in the future. I'd just like to remind her that, budget next year, she should be voting for it. It would be a good idea. But, Mr. Speaker, they provide strong and stable government to the country, and that's a good thing. Going forward, Mr. Speaker, we have 3 years, Mr. Speaker, of strong, stable government that will be delivering for New Zealanders. A couple of years ago, I became a father, and, Mr. Speaker, Christmas time becomes a more special time for those of us with families. And I have to say that when we look at the family policies that this government is pushing forward, the policies in which support young people into the future, when we've got Hekia Parata, who can bring on board the unions of the country into our education policy, Mr. Speaker, the future is looking bright. I wish the Parliament a very Merry Christmas. I hope everyone takes a good long break. The government is in good stead. The government is looking forward to working even harder in 2015. It's going to be a good term. It's going to be a good year next year. Mr. Speaker, best wishes for the Christmas break.
Honourable members, I know I stand literally